Hey everyone, welcome to Week 3's edition of Porcelain Audit. I'm Andrew Fabian, the host of Porcelain Picks. It's Wednesday, we're back from Aruba. We're a couple days late, but it's important for us to be accountable to you, our viewers. So let's dive into the Week 3 slate. Week 3 was our worst performance to date. We promise to do better next week with Week 4, the big week of the year so far. But let's take a look back. Where do we get right? What do we get wrong? We're accountable to you, our viewers. So we'll start with Penn State and the Nittany Lions taking on the Illinois Fighting Illini. Penn State was minus 14.5 at the start of this game. We took them at minus 14. But either way, death, taxes, James Franklin covering the spread. Penn State does prevail. It was a bit of a nail-biter. It was ugly for those who watched it. I did not watch it, luckily, but I did watch some of the highlights. Penn State looked subpar in this game. Illinois' defense showed up. Luckily, Penn State was assisted by 4 interceptions. That led to the squeaky clean cover. So James Franklin, Penn State cover the minus 14. Let's jump to a couple of our losses here. Mississippi State plus 9.5 hosting LSU. We thought the cowbells would be ringing quite a bit during this game. We thought LSU would squeak out a tight victory. That was not the case. LSU blew them out of the building. Mississippi State didn't show up. They scored a late touchdown. If not, for that, LSU's defense played very strong this entire game. Jalen Daniels with a huge performance yet again. This guy's a Heisman Trophy favorite for a reason. LSU's offense looks to be firing on all cylinders. They should be pumped headed into the rest of SEC play. Big victory for the Tigers. Mississippi State plus 9.5 was an absolute miss. All right, move to the Nerd Bowl. So Northwestern playing at Duke. We said Northwestern plus 17 and the under 48.5. Both were incorrect. Duke blew them out. This was never a matchup. Northwestern, we said they had a good defense. Doesn't look like they do. Duke, we wondered if they were for real. It looks like their offense is on track. Northwestern's not the barometer for what a good offense is and is not, but Duke looks to be a strong team after that early victory this year against Clemson, and now just blowing out Northwestern for another Power 5 victory. All right, so let's move on. Tulane, minus 12.5 at Southern Miss. We said Tulane would have a nice bounce-back week after keeping it close. They played against Ole Miss 2 weeks ago. They could have won that game. Tulane does eke out the spread. They cover minus 12.5. Good job. Lock it up, Tulane. All right, let's move to Ohio State playing host to Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky is dangerously good on offense. We thought Ohio State minus 29.5. I said that they were going to cover. Their 2 big-time wide receivers were going to get it done for them. Would they have a little bit of a sluggish week ahead of the Notre Dame matchup, or would they get their offense back on track? It was the latter. Lucky for you if you followed Porcelain Picks on this one. This was a lock. Ohio State pulled away. They look for real. They're going to juice up this matchup in Week 4. We can't wait to pick that one for you. But that's for another day. Let's jump over to Michigan State. The Spartans, going through all the drama that they are with their coach. They were traveling to Washington, or hosting Washington, I should say. Washington with Michael Penix Jr. coming to town with trying to prove out, is this guy for real? Is this team for real? Yes, they are for real. We said Michigan State was going to keep it within 16 points. That this would be Washington victory, but they would eke it out in the end with Mel Tucker's replacement. That was not the case. Washington absolutely destroyed Michigan State. This was not even a matchup. Spartans should be embarrassed. They're going to be in turmoil the rest of the season. Washington and Michael Penix Jr., watch out for these guys. They are for real. Michael Penix, he should be a top 3 Heisman Trophy favorite right now. All right, so next up, we had Tennessee going into the swamp where they haven't won in years and years and years. Minus 5.5. Joe Milton, he said ahead of the game, he does not lose in the state of Florida. Guess what happened? He lost in the state of Florida. Porcelain Picks lost this bet for you. We said minus 5.5 for Tennessee. That was not the case. The Gators get the victory and a nice bounce back way for Florida. All right, so that was another miss on our part. The night game. So we had Coach Prime in the rivalry matchup, hosting Colorado State under the lights in prime time. 23.5 point favorites. I said Colorado was going to come out and steamroll them, that they were going to get a lot of offense from their playmakers, and that they were easily going to cover this spread at night again in front of the home crowd. That was not the case. I was dead wrong. This was an overtime victory that saw Colorado scratch and claw. It saw Colorado State getting under their skin, making them do stupid things with dirty plays. Coach Prime, his son, got this game done. Shedeur Sanders is the only reason Colorado won this game. This guy is for real. Love watching that kid play. But they scratch and claw, win in overtime, storm the field. Really poor showing. Makes me think Coach Prime is not for real. But we'll see next week. Again, we'll be picking that Colorado-Oregon game next week, so tune in, all right? So, continuing to stay perfect, I have to give a nod to Joey Mack, okay? So we gave you 2 Mack picks. We had a parlay. So Joey Mack told you to take the Toledo money line and parlay it with Liberty money line. That one hit. Lock it, flush it. Joey Bag of Donuts, you're for real. Liberty, Buffalo, over 54.5. This one hit easy. So Joey Mack gets it done. He's got a clean slate on the season and keeps Porcelain Picks afloat this week, all right? So it's time for Stinker of the Week, okay? So all of these picks that we gave you, who really stunk the bed for you, we're going to say it was a close one. We had Coach Prime we thought was going to get it done. He surely stunk this week, but we're going to say Michigan State. Michigan State is the Stinker of the Week. These guys did not show up in front of their home crowd. They had a chance to show that they could handle adversity. They did not do it. So we already talked about this game. Michigan State, your Stinker of the Week, closely edging out Coach Prime and Colorado, who had to scratch and claw back against Colorado State and then storm the field in front of their home crowd. That was a little sneaky. But here we are. It's Porcelain Picks. This is Porcelain Audit. I'm Andrew Fabian. We did not have a good week 3. We promised to do better for week 4. Picks coming at you in a couple days. Have a great rest of your week. And until then, happy college football.